everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. My name is Stacy. I have yet another calendar project for you. You're going to need for this project a package of the Crafter Square wood planks. These are the 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch squares. You're going to need a package of the popsicle sticks that are, or the craft sticks that are tongue depressor size, and a package of the craft sticks that are popsicle stick size. What I am doing is making a thing to mount the big pictures. I got 5 different calendars from the calendar selection they had this year, and on the back they have the little mini pictures, but one picture is bigger on each calendar, and so these are the bigger ones, and so I'm going to make these be little signs for like 2-tiered trays. So what I did is I have 5 of those pictures, so I took 5 of the pieces of wood out of the plank package, and I painted them black. I didn't worry about the edges because that'll be addressed later, and I left the back to be plain wood. Okay, and I think I'm going to leave the popsicle sticks natural at the beginning, and then I might dry brush them with some white. Okay, and you're also going to need one tumbling tower block per piece. Okay, now I have these handy dandy shears. They're called Gartall shears, but what's really cool about them is you can cut at any angle. And I took the block and I put it in like this with it clicked up at 135 degrees, and I cut an angle into these blocks. Okay, if you don't have those shears, that's okay. You can use a miter box. You could also just this is going to be the stand on the back, so you could also just glue the stand down flat like that, and that would work too. But I wanted to give it a try putting this on an angle and making my stand that way. That way the picture can lean back just a tiny little bit, and maybe it won't fall over so much in my 2-tiered trays. Okay, because that's what I'm making these pieces for, is to be decorations in my trays throughout the year. So let me show you the 5 pictures that I have from the God Bless This Farm. I have the goat. From the farmer's market, I have honey. This one I think is from Be Brave. It's Explore. Has a little tent down there. I like that. Shine bright in all you do. It's inspirational sayings on floral prints. It's really a nice calendar. And then this Enjoy the Little Things came from the Simply Blessed, and all of them on there are little wreaths. So I'm going to make ornaments out of all of the mini pictures, but on the back of each calendar there's one big picture. Like, here's the Be Brave calendar. It's got all these little miniature pictures, but the one picture over here is bigger. And each of the calendars this year have that. So that's the big picture that I cut out. Okay, so I have my glue gun heating up over here. You can use wood glue for this as well. I'm just going to use my hot glue because it will be faster, and these aren't going to take a lot of wear and tear, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Now, on the outside edges, you're going to want to find a couple of pretty straight popsicle sticks, because it's going to be your edge. Oh, my glue's not ready yet. So I'm going to glue straight on the edge, just to hang over just a little tiny bit, and I'm going to push them up so that they go over the edge a tiny bit, and then I'm going to have one of these cover the bottom, because these sticks are too short to cover the whole thing. So I'll just have the one stick on the bottom, and I will trim that. Now I'm also thinking that I want the edges on the top to be flat. So I'm going to go ahead and clip these off. I want to get a nice straight one on each edge. Okay, so I'm just putting some glue on. You don't have to glue the entire edge, but I want the edge of the top of the stick to come to the edge of the top of the wood. Okay. And then just putting a little here. Let me scoot over so I'm a little more in frame here. Just a little bit of glue. Alright. Now, I want to leave a little bit of a gap in between because I want this to look like shiplap. So I want there to be a little bit of a space so you can see the line. I think that kind of looks like a little barnwood pallet or fence. And I'm going to take my shears and I'm going to cut the rounded edge off of this tongue depressor sized stick. And then I'm going to put it down on my wood, and with my pencil I'm going to mark where to cut. Dry fit to make sure, and then we'll just have that finished edge on the bottom. So on this one I'm going to put a little bit more glue because it's not going to be smooth, and it's going to have a gap in between what it's grabbing on. And I'm going to put it on the table and make sure that it's flush with the bottom. I don't want it sticking down there. Okay. So I'm going to continue doing this with the other 4 pieces, and when I'm all done I will come back. Alright, I've got all of my little fence pieces done, and I went ahead and used the crooked, chunky, holy popsicle sticks. Some of them were in really bad shape, but I think it kind of makes a cute little farm style rustic fence. So what I'm going to do now is I'm using Waverly chalk paint in white. Okay, and I just have a little bit in the lid, and I have a stencil brush, and I'm just going to, using a very dry brush because I don't really want to paint the black in between there. I want that to show through. I'm just going to do a little white dry brushing on my fence. I want the black to show through, so I'm not going to go super heavy. Where I am going to hit it a little more is on the edges, just to kind of give it a more finished look, especially up here at the top. That I'm dipping straight into my paint with and going ahead and putting paint on there, just so it looks a little more finished. You can put as much or as little on here as you want. I want the natural wood to show through on this one. So if you want it white, perhaps you would want to paint your popsicle sticks before you glue them down. That's a possibility or an option as well. I'm not going to worry about painting the back side of them. I'm going to leave that natural and clean. And now I need to attach my my pictures. I'm going to take the heat gun to these just to make sure they're dry. I've gotten out my Mod Podge, and I've got my 5 pictures. I can turn off my glue gun. And I'm going to Mod Podge my pictures onto the little fences. And I'm going to coat the whole fence in Mod Podge just kind of as a sealer. And after I'm done and the Mod Podge is dry, I will clear coat the little pictures, and that way when they get stored away, they won't stick together. I'll stick my little guy down. Now you have an option here. I have another one of these calendars, so I'm going to do this as an experiment with this one. I am going to grab a razor blade, and I'm going to cut where I have the spaces in between the popsicle sticks. Now, some spots they're put together pretty tightly, so it's a little harder. Just going to kind of give it that shiplap look. This may or may not be a good idea. I don't know yet. I figure if it's bad, I can pull it off and I can grab the picture from the other calendar. But who knows? It might be awesome. And you never know until you try. Especially when you've got a crooked popsicle stick in there, it makes it a little challenging. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put the Mod Podge over the top and see what happens to those slices. I don't know. Looks like I need a little more under here. Okay. I'm kind of hoping that they suck down into the cracks a little bit. Alright, so there's that guy. Okay, gonna let him dry. What I learned from that one is put a little more Mod Podge on than you think, because these popsicle sticks are soaking it in. I do find that when you're using something that comes off of the cover of the calendar, that the paper's a little thicker, it doesn't wrinkle quite as bad, and when you're using these small pieces, they don't wrinkle as bad. Make sure you get it glued down good before you try to slice it. And if you don't want to slice it, you don't need to. I just like that little extra texture on there. So in the comment section below, if you would, leave me a comment. The last several videos I've done, I've changed my camera angle and I've been going from the side rather than from up above. And I'm just curious, nobody's commented on it. I'm just curious if you are liking that or if you liked it better. Because here you're seeing everything sideways, whereas before you were seeing it more like that, but my hands were more in the way. So let me know what you're thinking. I do this for you guys, so I want you to enjoy what you're watching. I have a really cool idea for the big calendar picture of this one. I need to get a few more supplies before I can do it. I need some paint sticks, and my Walmart has been out of them, so I need to go to Home Depot, but they were so crowded this morning I didn't want to go in there. Is going to go on my honeybee two-tiered tray that I do every spring into summer. I just took it down so that I could put up my fall. The goat is starting to bubble up just a little bit, but it's dry on top, so I'm going to go ahead and push it down, flatten it out. Use my fingernail to kind of get it down into the groove of the popsicle stick so I have that texture. I'm just really liking that. A little tool that came from the Crafter Square section at the Dollar Tree. It's got a stylus on one end and it's got a stylus on both ends. So I'm going to try using that. I thought this was the one that had the pokey piece, but it's a really small stylus on one end. And I'm not really going to rub it so much as just kind of poke it in there. Maybe the bigger end would be better first. Oh, there we go. Just rubbing it back and forth is rubbing off some of that color. I'm really putting that. I don't want to rub it too much over the words because then you lose the words and you can't read them. I went and purchased a Surebonder mini glue gun for wood glue, and I took a Sharpie and wrote wood glue on the back of it, and I got this at Hobby Lobby. It was not in the glue gun section, it was in the woodworking section. I thought maybe they weren't carrying it anymore, but they had just moved it. So I'm plugging this in to get it hot so that I can use the wood glue to put the stands on the back. Now this is a single temp, it's not multi-temp, so it'll be hot, but the wood glue that comes from the Surebonder in the hot sticks really, really well. It just builds up a little bit like normal hot glue does, whereas liquid wood glue doesn't, but this is a quick grab, whereas the liquid glue doesn't always grab right away. And the Surebond wood glue sticks come in a little package like this. I have also seen them at Walmart, but for something where you need a quick grab, it's a good thing. And I think that the wood glue holds wooden things a little bit better than the all-purpose glue. So let me go over again how I'm making my stands while my glue gun is heating up. Now, I took my Gartol shears, okay, and these have an adjuster so that you can do different angles, okay? And I shifted it all the way over to 135 degrees. And then I took a tumbling tower block from the Dollar Tree and I put the corner into the shears, and holding it firmly and keeping your thumb out of the way, I just slowly sliced through. Okay, that gave me this wood block that's cut off at an angle. Let's see if you can see that. There we go. Okay, it's cut at an angle. And then I just took, whew, there's some pitch inside that one, I can smell it. Then I took my sandpaper and I just sanded the edge to make it smooth. Okay, some of them I had to cut a couple of times because it didn't cut exactly right. Now the idea is that this will glue onto the back at an angle, sticking up like that, so that it will be a little stand, like that. Okay, and so I'll glue that on and have it rest on the table. Now I could angle cut the bottom too, but if I didn't get the angles matched, I have a feeling it would be too rickety. So let's see what we can do here. Is this hot yet? So I'm just putting hot wood glue onto the piece, standing up my sign, and this way I can have the sign angle back a little bit if I want to, or however I see fit. Okay, and now my sign will stand up on its own. Okay, and because I used wood hot glue, it's already done and ready to go. Okay, so let's do the next one. There you have it, my little calendar project. Go into my two and three tiered trays. Let me know what you're thinking about this project in the comment section below. I realize the background I use is kind of messy and sloppy, but that's what I was going for, like an old barnyard, farmyard piece of fence. Let me know how you would do this. Would you keep them rustic? Would you paint out all the popsicle sticks and everything nice and solid white? Or maybe even not even use the popsicle sticks, just use the wooden board so it's smooth. Alright, let me know what you're thinking. These ended up being 4.5 by 4.5, and they will just tuck nicely into those tiered trays. Okay, which one's your favorite? Let me know what you're thinking. If you like this project, please give it a thumbs up. That helps my channel to grow. And if you leave a comment, that also helps my channel to grow. Alright, this has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.